Motion carries.
A communication from Andrew Siegel and Karen Weber
Mr.
regarding
Siegel?
Queen Anne Square.
I would like to thank the council.
Could you just identify yourself with your name and your address, please?
I'm sorry?
If you could just identify yourself with your name and your
My
address,
name is
please.
Andrew Siegel. I live at 24 Mill Street in Newport, which is on Queen Anne Square. And I'd like to thank this. I apologize for reading this, but in the interest of the time slot, I think it works. I want to thank the council for the opportunity to speak tonight. We do live at 24 Mill Street on Queen Anne Square. We've been there since 2006. The model now on view at the public library is a very good representation of the proposed plan. And if you remove the ghost foundations and the structures along with the proposed chimneys presented by Maya Lin, I think you would really be very close to having a really nice city park. And I'm really worried about the chimneys and people making fires because we've had arsons in the neighborhood. The project is about Doris Duke, not Maya Lin. The renaming of the park to the meeting room alone suggests an insult to the park creator and the Queen of England who dedicated it. All the hype has been about having a world-renowned architect designing this project. Keep in mind, Doris Duke went out of her way to remove the old structures and foundations at Queen Anne Square to create open space and flowerbed gardens. It worked great until the city couldn't afford to maintain the gardens which she most adored. Then the city was forced to remove the gardens and shrubs because of the high maintenance costs. Now we have a plan that wants to put back a high maintenance park. Since we have been told the cost to maintain Queen Anne Square will not impact the city of Newport taxpayer, do we really think that a $500,000 endowment that may spin off $15,000 or $20,000 a year at current interest rates will fund 2 security surveillance cameras having to be monitored by the city police department for 24/7? How about all the stone repair, the graffiti removal, the trash, the weed removal, the broken glass, hand tools, manicuring around the walkways and foundations, the mechanical repairs, electrical utilities, pumps, solenoid repairs for the sprinklers, sprinkler replacement, light fixtures and lens replacement, fountain cleaning, tree pruning, hedge clipping, leaf blowing, snow removal, winter ice on walkways. I can go on and on, but we only have a limited amount of time. But we have sent to council proof of a similar project that Maya Lin did in the Ohio University campus in Athens, Ohio, which, by the way, shows us the sunken seating structures with engraved phrases, which is not an original idea she brought to the city of Newport for Queen Anne Square. Basically, she's replicating or duplicating her design here in Newport. When we're working on we're working on contacting Athens, Ohio Chamber of Commerce, and this is important. We want to know and confirm if the Maya Lin Bicentennial Park, which they call Punch Card Park or Input Park, brings tourism and visitors to the area because of her art installation. Will it do the same for Newport? We'll get you that information. The wonderful gardens maintained by Trinity Church Volunteer Garden Club.
Thank you very much, Mr. Siegel. Thank you. If you'd like to present the rest of your letter.
I would like you to receive this document.
We'll make a motion to receive.
Second.
Am I out of 3 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I timed it at home and I thought I was...
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You will just give it to the clerk. Thank you very much.
A communication
Don't
from
forget about the
Excuse me, sir.
contaminated waste under the... Sorry.
a communication from Elizabeth Meyer regarding Queen
Ms.
Anne
Meyer?
Square.
Could you just identify yourself, please?
I'm Elizabeth Meyer, excuse me, and I live at 32 Church Street, which is on Queen Anne Square. There is a letter that is, I believe, going to be, is it called read into the docket tonight that I have sent? Or
We've received it.
yes. In addition to that, I would like to say that prior to the NRF proposal, no one was complaining about Queen Anne Square and suggesting that it had to be changed or fixed because it wasn't broken. In fact, I am absolutely certain that Queen Anne Square is the most loved and, by a wide margin, the most used and enjoyed park in Newport, just the way it is. It's jammed from dawn until midnight practically every day of the year, even in the winter. There are many, many people enjoying it, building snowmen, coasting. It's a wonderful park. It's true that the shrubs and trees need pruning and attention, but there are people on the square, myself included, who would be delighted to prune the trees and to provide some financing for a professional tree person to come in. Perhaps the bushes and shrubs the police are concerned about that may hide some people could actually be removed so that the trees had grass under them instead of shrubs. I also was very, very concerned to read Andy Siegel's letter about the prior businesses in the square that put toxic waste into the soil, including a dry cleaner, a gas station, and a plumbing supply store, among others. I urge City Council not to allow this project to go forward without a full DEM investigation of the soils so that we are not digging down into toxic waste and exposing the citizens of Newport to real danger. I think that is a quite reasonable precaution to take and possibly almost an essential one. And I really urge City Council to think about that very carefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Meyer.
A communication from Gigi Tollefson.
Ms. Tollefson? Just identify yourself with your name and address, please.
Yes, I'm Gigi Tollefson, and I live at 711 Aquidneck Avenue in Middletown.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Wallach and Councilman. In reference to Queen Anne Square, I mentioned in my letter how citizens groups, restoration and land preservation groups, tree societies, garden clubs, and city and parks programs had been created to preserve history, open space, and architectural heritage of Newport. I noted that we have all these elements already in place here. These groups are vital to help fight off the economic pressures that would all but erase the history of Queen Anne Square. I feel Newport already has a model in place that has been unfortunately overlooked. It has all the elements that would bring the life and history back to Newport and Queen Anne Square. I don't know if I can say what that is because I wrote another letter, but I'll just tell you, I feel that that model would be a Queen Anne Square Park Commission modeled after the existing Myantonomi Park Commission. And I think maybe I could talk about that next meeting. Okay, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
A communication from George Brian Sullivan.
Mr. Sullivan.
I'm George Brian Sullivan. I live in Newport at 76 Broadway. Greetings. I speak to the common good concerning the common ground and feel supported by the common law of the City of Newport and wish to address what I feel is a legal document, a concern for such as was presented on the front page of our Newport This Week in the form of a plan. Now, if you look closely at this plan, and I looked aided by a magnifying glass at my 72 years, and I was able to detect there a square of red indicating brick and a little dot indicating the plaque whereof I speak. Now, this plaque was placed there in Liberty Square in the ground of this beautiful place, and it was dedicated 35 years, 4 months, and 17 days ago by the Queen of England. Queen Elizabeth II came and brought the Britannia. The yacht was greeted by President Ford and was there as a graceful presenter to the people of Newport of this plaque's motto. And I really believe that we should consider it a legal document. Understandingly, Queen Anne Square, dedicated July 10th, 1976 by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, given to the people of Newport by Newport Restoration Foundation Trinity Episcopal Church, Robert Goulet, and thank you very much. And I comment, these bricks and this plaque, and there they are, the brick and the plaque. These bricks and this plaque attest to the collective property rights of we, the people of Newport, who through the gracious dedication of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II were graciously given Queen Anne Square by the Restoration Foundation, Trinity Episcopal Church, and Robert Goulet. These bricks belong to we, the people of Newport, and they should henceforth stay in the common ground of given Queen Anne Square, along with this handsome, handcrafted, hereditary plaque attesting to the title and rights of we, the people of Newport, to retain their rights to given Queen Anne Square, as have been carved in stone since July 10, 1976, for all posterity of we, the people of Newport, in perpetuity. So help us God. God save the Queen and Queen Anne Square. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Councilman McLaughlin.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to receive communications C, D, E, and F on the consent calendar.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to receive communications C, D, E, and F. Any discussion?